Hey, what's up guys? Going to be taking a look at Traptrix Traphole Nightmare today because this card has skyrocketed in price as well as in the amount of players that actually want to play this card. So let's go ahead and read its effect, then we'll have a little discussion about it. So it's a normal trap card that says when a monster your opponent controls that was special summoned this turn activates its effect, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy that card. So pretty simple effect, but what's cool with this is it works against non-inherent special summons. So for example, like Blackhorn of Heaven can only stop inherent special summons, where Traptrix Traphole, it could be something else that they go for an effect and then they are able to go for something. For example, Abyss Megalo, that card special summons itself, and that is a non-inherent special summon, so that would not be able to be Blackhorn of Heaven, but you can Traptrix Traphole Nightmare that thing, and that's pretty good. And there are other cards that are similar, because I know a lot of players are like, you know, Asian eyes, what about the budget players, you know, what can we run instead of this card? Because, I mean, if you check the price of this card, I mean, you gotta drop a Benjamin to pick up a playset of these, and I actually checked up a bunch of sites that were selling this card, you know, previously for cheaper, and they're actually all sold out, guys, so good luck trying to get these for cheaper on some sites, because that is something that you can do. Just as a brief little tip for you guys, sometimes when a card gets really hot over a weekend and the price skyrockets to like 5 to 10 times more than its normal price, some websites just haven't updated the price and you can pick them up for $1 to $2, but those are all sold out. I already tried. But so what other cards are actually very similar to Traptrix Traphole Nightmare? Divine Wrath is a fantastic card because it stops, you know, inherent and non-inherent effects and stuff like that. Plus it's spell speed 3, so that's actually kind of nice and relevant against things like Quasar or something like that. This card is kind of bad in one sense because you do have to discard a card, but hey, maybe you're playing a deck that doesn't mind discarding. Maybe you're playing a deck like, I don't know, Shadal's, where it doesn't matter that, you know, you have a few extra cards you can get rid of, or maybe you're playing the Heraldic Rulers and you can get rid of some of the dragons or get rid of the vanilla in your hand. Hey, you know, that's not so bad. Other cards that are fantastic, I still think Blackhorn of Heaven is a very, very good card because it's spell speed 3. I mean, I don't really know how relevant it is to consider things like Trapstone anymore, because I think a lot of players have replaced that with actually Wiretap, because Wiretap stops things like Solemn Warning. I know Solemn Warning is at 1, but that can be a difference between winning and losing games. So I think that Blackhorn of Heaven is still a really good card. There's also Fiendish Chain. I feel like, well, it negates the effect, so that's okay as well. There's also this card over here called Void Traphole, which is pretty close. It's when your opponent special summons a monster or monsters with 2,000 or more attack, negate the effects of one of those monsters with 2,000 or more attack, and if you do, destroy it. So that's a pretty good effect. It basically means anything 2,000 or more you get to stop, and it's not spell speed 3, which is kind of unfortunate, but this does only stop effect monsters, and pretty much I would say the only downside to this card is it doesn't stop EXCITON Knight because it has to have 2,000 or more attack. So let's go ahead and now talk about the cards that essentially Traptrix Traphole Nightmare essentially stops, which makes the card super, super good. So EXCITON Knight is a really nasty card to run into. Now unfortunately, like I mentioned before, if you want to replace Traptrix Traphole Nightmare with Void Trap, you won't be able to stop EXCITON Knight, so that's just that's like the small little difference, but that's a huge difference because once this card comes out, losing your entire field is pretty nasty. So I would say, you know, Traptrix Traphole Nightmare against this, it's superb against EXCITON Knight. There's also 101, which, you know, all these cards can basically stop anyways, which is basically something that comes out almost every duel. I'd say at least 50% of the duels that I see, eventually one player makes this card because it's so darn good. There's also, you know, different decks like to make Draco Sack, and this is a really nasty card to run into, but I mean pretty much any XYZ or any monster that's going to be thrown out on board, like, you know, Black Rose Dragon or Judgment Dragon. There's just so many cards in the game that people just throw out, and very rarely will your opponent just throw out a monster and be like, you know what, I'm going to activate its effect, you know, next turn. As soon as they throw out their monster, they're going to activate its effect. So I think that's the reason why Traptrix Traphole Nightmare is super, super good. Some people are actually cutting Solemn Warning down because, you know, Solemn Warning, it's a fantastic card and all, but that's 2 less cards, which means 1 less special summon, you know, from the extra deck with your Soul Charge. So I think that's an okay option. I mean, this gets the job done, I would say, because it also negates the effect of that monster, well, that effect of that monster, which is actually pretty good. But for the most part, I personally just prefer Blackhorn of Heaven, simply because there are certain times where your opponent just doesn't activate its effect, and that's happened to me when I played this card. I think Black Horn of Heaven, it's probably the closest thing that you'll get to it. Void Traphole is pretty good, but like I said, the difference between winning and losing a game could be this card blowing up your entire field. So I think Black Horn of Heaven, it stops all synchros, all XYZs. Like I said, the downside to Black Horn of Heaven, it does not stop non-inherent special summons, meaning a monster that special summons itself by a different effect or something like that. So I think that is just one thing to take into consideration as well. Divine Wrath will probably be your closest card, but remember, you're going to have to discard a card. But like I said, some decks don't care about that. But let me know, guys, if you are excited about the rise of this card in price, or if you're disappointed. For me, I was like, well, a few people asked me for this card like a couple hours ago. I'm like, well, why all of a sudden, like, I had 3 or 4 people ask me for this card. Is this card suddenly good? But then, yeah, my buddy Star Trek Duelist actually posted this picture, and I was like, yo, is this photoshopped over here? Because I honestly, for me, I think that this is overhyped. I know everyone's like, Asian Eye is the king of hyping up cards, but I really don't think it's, I really think it's overhyped. But hey, you can disagree with me. That's the point of a discussion video. Let me know, guys, do you think that this card is good, or if you think it's kind of a little bit overhyped, as well as, are you happy about this, or are you, disappointed in it? Because I just don't think it's that great, but I can understand why a lot of players want to play it. This card is where it's at right here. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.